Awesome.
Nailed it.
See you around. You feel that they will come.
Right.
So that's not the case anymore.
Through that suffering and through that community, I became a better Catholic.
Welcome back. We're in Dallas, Texas at the Evangelical Catholic Conference here. And I have a special privilege to talk to Monsignor Shea, the sixth president of University Mary in Bismarck. Thank you so much for your time.
Dr. Evans, I'm happy to be here with you. Thank you.
So when you look at the landscape of faithful Catholic institutions, there's three institutions in particular that their enrollment growth has really reached that point where in that 4,000 category. So University of Mary is about 3,800 students, 2,600 undergrad. Franciscan University outside of Pittsburgh is seeing that same kind of enrollment growth, and UST as well. And so we're kind of all in this rapid growth. But what's interesting about at UST, we're in a city of millions of people. You're in a city of 75,000 people, and you're experiencing this amazing growth. And so there's something going on there, right? So what's your secret sauce?
What's so very funny about this is when I had that earlier conversation on the same series with your president, he wanted to know all about the same thing. In other words, I think that, so let me say this, I think that there is an advantage of a place like St. Thomas of being in a huge metropolitan area like Houston. I think that allows you to serve in really a spectacular way, and with the genius of Catholics from the very beginning, who have always known how to navigate and bring the gospel to large groups of people. From the very beginning, Christians gathered in cities. Now, University of Mary is a Benedictine university, and the Benedictines, of course, arose in the demise of the Roman Empire. And so there was a period of time, historically, in which there was a very deep rural aspect to the spread of the faith and to evangelization in the years following the fall of the Roman Empire. And so we're a Benedictine school, and so we take that kind of approach. I would say this, and people don't believe me, but our secret power is that we're podunk. Our secret power is that nobody, I don't know about secret sauce, but our secret power is that nobody expects anything when they come to North Dakota. Very often, actually, students who arrive at the university from the wide world, not from our region, but people from the wide world, oftentimes they arrive because we're their second or third choice. They'd rather go to another place, but we're so affordable. And so they're like, well, I'd rather go to these other places, but I'll settle for the University of Mary. Then when they arrive there, either as a new student or even sometimes during a college tour, they can't believe it. They can't believe the size and the scope of the institution. They can't believe how beautiful it is. They have trouble grasping the idea of 24/7 dining, which we have. And so as a result, I think that people are surprised by us when they come and see, to borrow from the Gospels. When they come and see, they're surprised by us. And I like that. It's better than the opposite, isn't it? To be overestimated in people's minds and then to be a disappointment. I think we're very seldom a disappointment. The question that people often ask is whether there's anything to do. And we live in such an interconnected world, and Bismarck's not enormous, but Bismarck, Mandan, the two cities together, which straddle the Missouri River, that's a metropolitan area of more than 100,000 people. So there's plenty. We have a Chick-fil-A. But then people have worries about the weather. And in a certain sense, one has to ask what kind of setting is most conducive to deep study. A place that's filled with all kinds of distraction and exterior stimulation, or a place where you can really hole up. And so what have we done in the face of the snow and the cold? We've built fireplaces. So we have fireplaces all around campus, and students scurry from building to building, and then they cuddle up with a book and they learn. And that's not a terrible way to spend your college years.
Excellent. Now, I want to ask about, in a lot of ways, faithful Catholic universities have a shared mission and apostolate, right? But there's also something unique about each of our institutions.
Absolutely.
And so once you get down to that individual level, one thing that struck me in writing your book, it was originally an internal document.
Yeah, right.
In order to calibrate, the vision and mission of University of Mary. And oftentimes I've heard you talk about the book in terms of different apostolates, right? Yeah. Priest, deacon. But what's the apostolate of a Catholic university in the age that we're living? And what's your unique contribution to the University of Mary? What's a Catholic university unique mission in general?
I think that's super interesting because It is true that different places have different charisms, even the places that you named at the very beginning. St. Thomas, I think, is known far and wide in the Catholic world for being so solid philosophically. In other words, the teaching of St. Thomas and the various ramifications of that throughout the life of the institution is something that's admired far and wide. And so I just think, St. Thomas is just amazing in that particular way. Franciscan University of Steubenville, of course, is known for Father Mike Scanlon and the charismatic renewal, the vividness and vibrancy of worship, along with deep fidelity, and for, of course, Dr. Scott Hahn and other luminaries are gathered there at Steubenville. The University of Mary has a bit of a different take. We weren't founded, first of all, as a liberal arts institution. The sisters who founded us in 1959 said that we would be a place for the professions with a strong liberal arts base. And so, of course, to be a Catholic university at all, especially to be a serious Catholic university, means that you're taking the core curriculum and the requirements that should be part of every college and university degree very seriously: theology, philosophy, and history, literature, all of those types of things. But nursing, for instance, is a very important program for us. For 2 of the last 3 years, we've been ranked the #1 nursing program in America. And that's not by some strange U.S. News and World Report ranking, where the algorithm is hidden in some valley filled with little trolls or some mystical land. But it's based upon the pass rates of the students for the NCLEX exam. So are they likely or not to heal or kill their patients? That's a pretty good standard. And so we have great programs in the health sciences, wonderful programs in education and the behavioral sciences. We've got a great business school. And we really have focused upon those areas. And so that means that we're uniquely situated to be a real school for the new evangelization. Here we are in the wake of 60 years since the Second Vatican Council was convened by Pope St. John XXIII. And he and the council itself were very clear that this is an age for the laity. That it's important, if the gospel is going to be preached at all, it needs to be preached not just by priests and deacons who need to preach the gospel inside and in and out of season, but also the gospel is going to need to be preached in workplaces, in families and communities in a new and revivified way. And that means equipping the laity in their professions with what they need to live an integrated life. And that's, I think, what our kind of shtick is at the University of Mary, that what we're trying to do is be a tremendous place for the preparation of the Christian or the Catholic professional to live an integrated life in which they're able to witness to the joy of the gospel in their daily life, in their communities. That would be the aspiration of just about every Catholic institution that's not a strictly liberal arts school, but we take a special interest in that. As a result, the book From Christendom to Apostolic Mission, which, as you said, was primarily meant as an internal document originally, is meant to give a vision for that. Okay, we find ourselves in an age of change. No, we find ourselves in a change of age, not an age of change and a change of age. If that's true, if we're going into a new apostolic era, what's necessary in terms of the evangelization and the health and healing of the world and the church? And those are the types of things we're thinking about at the University of Mary.
Good. Well, as an administrator at a Catholic university myself, I understand the challenges and the opportunities. And trust me, we're all praying for you. We look at your success. We're all thrilled. And in a lot of ways, we're all in this together.
We sure are. We're really grateful. We're really grateful.
Well, Monsignor, congratulations on all your success and for your apostolate. And so this is Chris Evans, University of St. Thomas. And thank you for watching.